Alright, this is going to be a really quick trade recap of today's trade. It is January 13th. It's a Monday, no news Monday. And we took one trade on micro-nasdaq, but I'm going to show you the trade on NASDAQ. Profited about 147 ticks-ish here or there. So let me explain exactly what we were looking at this morning. So opening price action at 9:30, we had a lower distribution creating some SMT on the lower time frame with some London lows. We didn't run out all the London lows. We still have a lower sell side target generating some low resistance liquidity today, but we did SMT this London low. So upon SMTing that, we had to run higher, creating an internal sell model inside of our higher time frame sell model. My bias is still bearish in a small sense, so I'm still looking for some of this low resistance liquidity to get ran out. But I also understand that on our higher time frame, if we look at NASDAQ on here, we are bullish. We are looking to get some sort of bullish retracement back into our premium breaker so we can run out the sell side liquidity on the higher time frame. This is the 4-hour time frame on NASDAQ, and we're looking for a bullish retracement back into a discount or a premium on our previous weekly range. Back to what we were looking at though on our trade, coming into 10 o'clock here, consolidated a little bit lower, wicked out some highs, and as we ran up to run out these highs, we actually SMT'd with London highs. So this was showing another internal sell model inside of our higher time frame bearish bias. So two biases align, which is what we look for. Inside of that also we respected a 15-minute sell side imbalance right here. You can see this wick popped up SMT'd, but we never did close outside of this 15-minute SIBI, which is proving that we were still bearish on at least the shorter time frames. So 3 reasons why we're looking for a bearish trade here. And then obviously the SMT was bearish on NQ, so that's why we took the trade on NQ and not ES. So coming into the sell model we had, so it's an obvious market maker sell model, SMT at highs where we had a liquidity sweep, tapped into a higher time frame imbalance, which is technically a turtle soup model, but the imbalance was not higher than the liquidity level, so I wouldn't consider it a turtle soup. But the fact that there is an imbalance here does add to the validity of the sell model. So right off the sell model, we had a huge displacement down through 2 lows, which is exactly what we like to see. This displacement through went right through a 5-minute BISI, creating a 5-minute BPR. If you don't know what a BPR is, basically it's where we have this buy side imbalance get completely displaced through to create a sell side imbalance in the same gap. This is called a balanced price range because this gap is mitigated by this gap, proving that there is no more reason for price to retrace back into this zone as it's fully balanced with price. So obviously price does not want to retrace anywhere back up into this level right here because all of this area right here has been filled. Into that, we have, as we displace through and create that 5-minute BPR, create this 1-minute IOFED, which is an institutional order flow entry drill, if you don't know what that is, which is just this fair value gap right about here. This is the BPR right here that we created. And then we had this 1-minute IOFED that we tapped into. This was going to be my determining factor if I was going to get in on this trade, because obviously the BPR is our first PDA that gets respected, and then the fact that this right here, that this sort of 1-minute fair value gap gets respected by this and closed out of, that's 2 confirmations that we are going for lower. So I am going to look for some sort of inverse in price entry. So this is actually the ABS anticipatory breaker strategy, or I like to call it the ICE model because it's the inverse confirmation entry. So we get a fair value gap respect, and then we respect the fair value gap, and then we displace through a fair value gap, inversing it. And that's exactly where I entered. Obviously, people look at this and they would think this is a bad entry right here because price looks like it could retrace all the way back up here into all of these gaps. But in reality, price is not going to retrace up here because from here to here, this price is fully balanced by this BPR. And then this fair value gap that could be retraced to has already been respected right here. There's no reason for price to come back up and take this out, which is why I use that as my stop level right there. Because if price does come back above this, I would expect it to use it as support and then reach for higher prices. So that's where I place my stop at the IOFED respect. We also have 3 different breakers that we displace right through. That's very high confirmation that we are getting a smart money reversal. This 1-minute fair value gap was my entry. As soon as we inversed it, came back up and tapped back into it. I got short on this. My primary target was the internal liquidity because I think on the higher time frame we are bullish, retracing back into the weekly range. So there's this 1 minute sort of sell side imbalance right here where we had this lack of price delivery right here, the survey gap on the 1 minute time frame. That was where my target was. Price was doing this sort of chop thing right around where my take profit was. So I think it was around about one of these candles right in here where I got out right before I hit my take profit. I missed out on like maybe $10, $20 of profit, but I'm okay with that. That's perfectly okay with me. Got out of this trade earlier than I would have liked to, just simply because whenever it's doing this sort of reversal thing, that does tend to leave these equal lows here and leave this price gap get filled and then me get reversed on. And personally, I'm not one to get reversed on, so I take the little bit of loss to secure profits overall. So that was my entire trade for today. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I'm going to be doing daily trade recaps from now on as best as I can, trying to get these out as frequent as possible. But I hope this was helpful. I hope this was insightful. I hope you guys learned something about some trading from this, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week.
I can't stop shopping in sets. Can't get my mind on these racks. Still trying to run off a scratch. Sitting in the back of the Maybach. Tremendously help me relax. These blue hunters coming in fast. Got out of the hood with finesse. My family glad we done made it.